What?
I want to go out.
You want to come outside? All right. Okay, so what happened today?
We had low water pressure, and apparently a bunch of the city, their water went out, and so the city issued a boil water alert.
So what do we have to do now? What haven't we been using for the last year?
Our Berkey filter.
Our Berkey filter. Why is that? I'm just kidding. It's pretty ugly though, isn't it?
Because we have the refrigerator with the water dispenser in it.
Yeah, but
and we don't have to have a big, huge, giant Berkey filter sitting on our counter anymore until today.
It's like Mrs. D2S was saying. So basically our water pressure dropped off this morning, and sure enough there was hardly anything. And I got a text from the neighbor, and he didn't have any pressure hardly at all. And so that's not good. And apparently the city just issued a boil water alert. And so what we're gonna do is get this Berkey fired up. It's been sitting in the closet for like a year, and I let these filters sit, you know, kind of wet or whatever. But we used those at the old place for like 6 years, I think. So it's time for some new ones anyways. I'm gonna dry them out anyhow, just to kind of keep an emergency spare. But I have some brand new ones that we bought back in 2011, and so we're gonna fire those up. They've never been used, so it's a good time to do it. I'm gonna go over to my grandma's place, and they're on well water just up the road. So we're gonna clean everything out and kind of get this thing ready to roll again. So hopefully that works. So you just showed me something I didn't know about. Come here. What is this dish soap thing?
I got this Mrs. Meyer's mint, and it doesn't smell like mint. It smells like flowers, so it gives me a headache. So I don't really like that one.
And what's this?
I was bummed because I like the smell of mint. This one is peppermint,
And
it smells good, but I like to use it at Christmas time, so I was saving it for that.
What the heck is wrong with Dawn?
I like the unscented stuff for the most of the time, but I think the peppermint smelled good. I don't really like scented stuff most of the time.
I was completely unaware we had peppermint scented dish soap for Christmas. Little Berkey. So I gotta clean out the Berkey because it's been sitting in the closet for like a year. I'm gonna take it over to my grandma's place on a well and get everything cleaned out. Oh. So while I'm there, I'm gonna bust out these brand new Berkey filters that we've had since, let's take a look. Got these in storage since 8/11. Now, these were around a time where they had a bunch of problems with them sealing, but this is the upgraded one, upgraded design, so I'm hoping they work. They look just like the ones we had on there. I can't remember when we put those on there, but we had them on there for about 6 years, so they should be fine. Get this all scrubbed down and cleaned up, and we should have good tasting water. Maybe we'll start using this again. The base is clear on this thing, so I'm gonna do the top. So this is actually pretty clean. And this poor Berkey has been sitting in the closet for about a year. We got a little lazy with that kind of stuff, so it's a good reminder to always have that kind of stuff ready to go when things like this happen. Not a big deal yet, but you know, like I said, the water pressure dropped. They lost a main line, and so they're having to redirect water right now into our area. So you get the potential for, like, you know, all sorts of viruses and all sorts of stuff. I don't think it's a big deal, that big a deal, because there's so much chlorine in that water that I don't know how anything could live. I mean, it smells like chlorine, so which also tastes pretty bad. So another reason to use the Berkey. But I'm going to be getting this thing ready to go. I have some brand new filters like I showed you. I'm going to get those primed using this spigot over here carefully so I don't break them. I'll show you how to do that, and then I'm going to be heading home, and I'll put some water in this thing. We'll just use that for the next couple of days, and we'll be fine. All right. So these are brand new. I'm going to prime them. The Berkeys, at least this generation, came with this tan kind of rubberized donut and what I'm going to do is prime them. So I'm going to put them against the faucet, and don't go nuts. If you put a lot of pressure on there, they could blow these things off. These are not a pressure fed system, so I think a lot of people end up blowing these things off the top, this base thing, which I don't know how good these are. If this is, I think the newer ones are a little better, but I'm gonna wash it off, kind of get it clean a little bit from all the dust, and then I'm gonna prime this filter. Really minimal here. Yeah, it's starting to go through. It's pretty much primed. Look at that. See that right there? Primed. I think I might hit it a little bit farther to get the bottom of it done. Just make sure. Gently prime it. Gently prime it. Yep, we're good to go. Also kind of checking for leaks around this ring. That's primed. So that sucker's all wet. It'll make it easier. You don't have to prime them, but it's gonna flow water faster. It's gonna filter water faster right off the bat. It breaks that surface tension in these filters, and then you're good to go. The water comes out this little tiny hole right there. Ready to rock. Now we got 2 filters in there, ready to rock and roll. So I'm gonna bring this back home, fill it up with water, and we'll have clean water to drink while we have this boil water thing in effect. So that should solve some of our temporary problems here. I think it'll be back online tomorrow. We also have to do one more thing, and that is check this system for leaks. And I bought some red food coloring. Red food coloring has minerals in it for color, and you'll see in about 10 seconds if these filters are not working, or if they're broken or failed, or if I haven't tightened them up on the bottom tight enough. So you can see really quick. We had a filter about 5-6 years ago fail on us, and I could taste the difference. You know, it wasn't as good flavor. These really make the water taste good. So I went and checked it, and sure enough, the water was pink when I put food coloring in, and I had a leak around the base, and it was a failure of the glue on the base. And so we sent them back, and I think we only had them within 2 years, and they sent us back 2 updated ones free of charge. So I don't know how the company is to work with now, but this was back in 2011 or 2012, something like that. And so I'm assuming they've kept updating them, but we've always used this. We use this system almost exclusively at our last place because we could put it in the pantry, but we don't have a good spot for it right now. But you know, we need it today, so I'm going to get it kind of dialed in and hopefully up and running here soon. And I hope these don't leak. Again, they've been sitting there since 2011 as backups. So if they leak, I'm going to be kind of bummed out, and I might actually call the company if there's a problem and just see what they do. I don't know. I don't know what they would do. They're so old. So we're going to give it a shot. I'm going to head back home, try the system out, and show you the process for checking with dye. So what I did sloppily, and got it all over my hand, was put a little bit of red food coloring in there. 2 teaspoons per gallon. I got about 2.5 gallons in there. It's pretty red, as you can see. And now we're gonna check it to see if it works. What, you don't trust the Berkey? What's the deal?
It's not done filling up yet.
What are you eating? Huh?
No. Dad?
Yeah? What are you two eating? You look like... you need to eat that. Filled up both glasses already. No red food coloring. Not pink at all. So we're good to go.
Good to go? Where'd you go, dude?
Perfect. So I showed that there's a bunch of red food coloring at the top. Look at that.
Oh, white.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to carefully dump this out. Carefully. And try not to get it everywhere. All right.
Okay.